Hi folks, how we doing? How we doing? We're ready for some Metroid Prime. This is my favorite part of the stream, honestly. It's a shame that it's right at the beginning because I think a lot of people miss it. But this is it. This is the hot stuff. That's what I'm talking about. That's all the ASMR I need in my life. It's that beautiful, dulcet tune. I don't know. That starter tune, man. I just love it. Absolutely love it. I hope you're doing alright this Thursday evening. We are doing another Metroid Prime stream. I'm determined to last longer than this. We are most definitely I would say probably about 1%. So I think we'll wrap this up probably in the next probably 5 times in the stream this. I do have plans, just to by the by, play the second one. I think that'd be super fun. But I'm probably not going to jump into that right away. So let's think now. Right. And I now have power bombs. Remember that. Pleased at all. I think I actually need to turn this volume down a little bit. Hopefully that sounds better. Yeah, alright. I think that sounded better. So, and if you need the sound tweaked a little bit more, let me know. But yeah, last time we had our first death, which was a little frustrating, only because I really thought we were going to get a little bit further into the game before we died. is what it is. But the unfortunate part was that it required us to go back quite a bit. Replay quite a bit of the game to catch back up. Didn't love that. Power. Switch. There we go. It was only one. I thought it may have been one of those 2 or 3 switch things. Those are annoying. Ooh la la. I think I was probably supposed to get through that door first. Oops. Oh, right. Spider ball. It's a spider ball. That's it's my famous Spider Ball song. I wonder if I can get it back in position now. Now I'm a little. I was supposed to go through that door or something. Let's see. So if I scan this again, I can. Okay. Good, 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 good. Yes. Alright, because now that I have the grappling hook, now watch this. That's how I came out of this thing. Okay. Right. Okay. We're out, and then we're here. Okay. I'm what's hip. I'm what's happening. I'm what's blowing up right now. Hope your Thursday evening is going swimmingly. I gotta say, as far as like cutscene animations to transition from area to area go, this is one that doesn't. I don't hate. I actually kind of like the cutscene animation. It just really like reinforces the world. I feel like more than anything. I appreciate it. Alright, now I believe it's just right upstairs. that. Not like that till you get upstairs. Upstairs card revoked. I got something a little bit later in the stream that I want to show y'all that I just received. It's super. Tease it too much. Man, oh man, I'm excited about it. Go. X-ray visor. Poo. Now I can finally lock in on those doodads. This is the last visor, I think. Cool. Cool. Much bigger room now. I'm just outside. Okay, cool. Alright. So now I guess we explore a little bit and try and get out of here. Although we know that there's ghost activity. Get the Phasmophobia team back together. It's not Monday night. If you didn't know, I do stream Phasmophobia, the Phasmophobia crew, Monday nights, same time. It's always a lot of fun. Phaser, and have a rotating person in there. Sometimes, you know, Horse has taken a bit of a break. We've had Zooboy on a couple times. Hey, there's those ghosts. Like that's not how those work, and that's all. Well, I know that's not how X-rays work. I mean, it's cool. It's cool as all gets. I'm not too much here. Sometimes getting a physics degree ruins Video games and music sometimes. Movies and music. Video games and movies. So you start being like, actually, you become like Neil deGrasse Tyson and nothing's ever. There's some shade on. I'm not afraid. I'll do it. He's fine. He's sometimes. Because he doesn't know when to switch it off and just have some fun, you know? And I don't know how to jump, so, you know, each their own. Oh boy. Alright, so we got all 4 visors. I guess that means we're getting close to all 4 beams. The last beam being my favorite, plasma beam. Use that as like a username for a bunch of different things for a while. But I just think it's the coolest looking arm cannon of the game. And I love how powerful it is. I just think it's super cool. I thought it was really kind of refreshing and cool to have literal plasma, almost like magma, in your shots. Like a very hot, almost like a solar blast kind of thing from your arm cannon. I just thought that was super cool. I know the traditional plasma beams just kind of like phase through things, phase through walls, I think. The wave beam phases through the... Okay, so now I need to That's what happens when I just start playing the game a little bit too much. Come on, shoot him out. Oh, hot dang. Core. Alright, so we might be getting that sooner rather than later anyways. So, Drana, Talon Overworld West. Chosen Ruins, Phase on Mines. Chosen Ruins. Ruins. That's a distance. That's a distance. I'm trying to think which is a better path. Sorry, folks. This is not terribly interesting content right now. I know I just, done it. Because I think that's the best way. Okay. Okay, we have a plan. Plan. We are focusing on action. We're going to execute this plan. Run! I don't think there's like any sort of feature either. I think I was making some like a list of things that would actually be really nice to have for you know, a remake of this. Modern kind of aiming controls. I think I said a pretty sure I said like a melee attack. I think that'd be really cool. And then I don't remember what the third thing was, but I really think a dash function. Maybe that was it. Maybe I said a dash. All right, so I need to go back into the Hall of Elders and then book it over to what's in here. Maybe we'll make a... Maybe we'll make a quick... a detour. Magma pool. Oh, we now have the grapple beam. We can do that. Okay. Plans of action. Excuse me. I think that's the experience they want. Oh, now that I can see it. We out. We out. So, easiest way out of here is, oops. This way. Poopy. so we said we might do a quick detour. Where? That's up ahead a little bit. Okay. But I think... remember for the life of me what this is. Yeah, I need those missiles. Give me some missiles after midnight. This is where this I took that. That was mine. And if I go through here, don't let me forget to save in that save room up right behind us. I feel like that's going to be super important. Because it just prevents us from like doing half of this backtracking thing again. Some modern controls would be very nice. Because I gotta be honest, this like pivoting turret thing is just not fun. From a gameplay perspective, there's a lot of tension. How do I get up there? That. Look at that. Is there a way up there? Anyway, I should have scanned this area. Oh. Probably just a bomb would do that. Mystery box number 1. Missiles. Alright. Now you piqued my interest. What is this place called? Dynamo. Wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. That's fun. Well, at least we got 2, right? So we got 5. Plus 5 is 10. I can do better. I think that was it in there. heard something. Man, I don't know why I didn't just do a bunch of missiles everywhere. Save, because I've learned my lesson since the last stream. I need to save. I need to save more often. I think it's funny that the scree or whatever, I guess they're shrink bats. Only come out if you're facing a certain direction. Oh. I can avoid it. See ya! We're gonna get a similar thing here. Safe. Genzia. I got ah. I probably should have scanned it. This is fun. Cool. Good lore. Let's... Surprises. Oh, I just made that. You know you're just what I needed. Yummy. I think, yeah, I just did that one. Dang it. What's this do? Ooh. Something new. I think that's the way forward. Is it the way forward? Yeah, it is. Ah! Shoo. Nice. We did it. Hey everyone, we did it. Oh. There we go. See, this is the fun part of the game where we're really starting to, like, get all the little, like, hidden Easter eggs and stuff, you know? Aim it correctly. Ah, great. How do I get to that? There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so I think at this point it makes sense to just... should focus in on this. Yeah, because it's still from the overworld that I'm trying to get to. To get to Magmoron Caverns, I mean. Alright. Fuel. Said before, I'll say it again. I love how each one of these biomes interacts with my visor. Like, the overworld is always wet. As a result, I'm always fogging up and such. this game still slaps, if you will. Magmoor Gatherers. Alright. So from here, I'm trying to just not go that way. From here, I'm trying to... I need to take left. This way. Trying to see if there was any way around it. Besides using the spider network. I think I can just jump through it once I have the whatchamacallit, screw attack. Once I hit the screw attack, I can just kind of jump through things and not worry about whatever. Okay, that's easy. Some killer momentum there. I just started spinning. There was no good way. Okay, so missiles. Some subtle clues. I think it's subtle. Ooh, actually not so subtle. Very nice. Very nice. Subtle clues to show me which way to go. Then also very nice motioning on what to do to get to the next one. Very cool. Love it. I think it feels pretty natural. Like, it makes sense that there were lights there on this port, you know? Appreciate There's something somewhere. Oh, you know what? Is this it? Jeez, oh. That's cool. Okay, I'm loving this. This is where I think like Metroid Prime like really excelled with like bringing platformer into the 3D realm. I mean, yeah, obviously not the first. is obviously not the first 3D platformer by any means, but I thought it did such a cool job at like trying to reinvent a little bit what it means to be a platform, a 3D platform. So in that respect, it's just it excels. Going up. So let's see if I can that's about as close as I'm gonna get. Ah, shoot. I should have scanned that before. Chances are I probably already did scan it. Hey, that's my boy! Oh, man. Ah, the hype is real! My favorite. It is my favorite. Oh, the long boy. It's just so cool. It's like, it's the small things, right? I just love it. I love it! So. Hey! Alright, I am glad I got that. Okay. So now we're where to? Probably maybe that workstation tunnel because I think there was some debris there. Hey Devi! Long time no see. By that I mean I saw you. Look at what I got! I got the plasma beam! And I don't know if you heard me say it, but this is my favorite of beam weapons. I love this thing. I actually like used it as a as a username for like certain websites and stuff back in high school and such. Just love the plasma beam. Am I going the right way? It's just a repeat. Objective. Don't go in the lava. And I'm still going the wrong way. I really wish there was a little bit better. Objective. Debbie, how you doing? Doing today? It's almost the weekend. Rough week. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. But I am happy that you got a weekend coming up. Always good. Snow today. Yeah, it was flurrying here. They didn't full out snap. And for that, I was very happy. Seriously, just need to... Sisters. Must be a thing nearby. Nice. Alright, killed one. Over here. Some stuff. Nice. Oh, okay, that's how this is going to work. And then the green one will give me access to purple. Oh. It's dead. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We do it again. What happens when they close? Just lava return. You know what? I don't want to find out. Still so much time. Yum. My belly is full. Alright, now we can do whatever BS the beans tell us we should. Some stuff. Alright, so it's not in the right place. Get over there because there looks like there's a park. Glad I didn't use right now. Power bombs. What's down here? I assume it's another phase online. Business. There we go. Okay. So. Here we go. I don't know what is over here. Unless this is... Yeah, okay. That's dangerous. I'm a little terrified. Hey, this is... Oh. Stop. Stop moving. Stop moving. no. Ah! Everything is hurting. Everything hurts. Ah! I need to scan the plasma trooper. Okay. Hi, this isn't Jeez. What? There's one of everything? Freaking buffet. Just die. There's something else somewhere. I mean, okay, so I could try and get in there, right? This tunnel. I think I need to get in there. Can't be right. Is this right? This sucks. Such a troll move. Alright, Why? What's hitting me in the head? Sucks. Can I scan this stuff yet? That's all I want to do. Machi. I'm hurting. Alright, so maybe if I go this way. Man, I came in here with like almost all my health. You know, the worst part is, I don't know the last time I saw a save station. Speaking of which, let's just check. Gotta go through here, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I gotta go through here because there is the area that I need. I can only see the transports, the little floating platforms, which X-ray visor, and I didn't have that X-ray visor then. To this. Guess we'll go that way. I'm hoping that we can actually Come on. Open. Desperately need that save. You gotta be kidding me. I didn't want to do that. Man. Alright, folks, I need to take a quick break. I will be right back. With more Metroid Prime, but give me a second. Sorry, folks. Alright, we're back. Sorry. I had to use the little streamer's room. Alright, but in that time, they want to give us a hint, so I'm not gonna be opposed to that. That's exactly... No. Well, we were gonna get there. We were gonna get there. But, in a circuitous... Whew, alright. Feeling better about that. Still took out a nice chunk of health, though. Jeez. So let's think. I think there will... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I think there were definitely wave troopers in that other room. So you gotta be ready for them. I think there were power troopers in the other room. So we need to be ready for them. I did not see any ice troopers. And I didn't see any plasma troopers. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Folks, I'm gonna lose it. I can't make it on this one. There should be a grapple beam spot in here. Just let me bypass this once I've made it sufficiently far in the game. Why is this giving me such issues? Why is this being such a butt? I mean, there's a part of it that I really do appreciate. Like, once you start moving, it's hard to, like, just, you know, change direction of my flight mid jump, which is like good because that's how physically that works. But like, man, thank you for the welcome back. Right, it's up here. It's tight. I really wish we had more. Just a melee attack. So I feel like I'm really up against or like when I am up against when I am up against not just like shit out of it. Right? It's crazy. You conserve momentum? That's the thing that's just like, I can't be too mad about it because it's real. But at the same time, all these other games allow me to do it. Map station. Show me that good map. A whole lot of, oh, there's new stuff down there. Okay. So there's some place can go now. It was kind of new. So here. Right. So it was the Metroid Quarantine. Shoot, it was the exact region we were just in. Let's just scan. Spawn again. Usually means I need to go like 2 rooms away for them to respawn. But we'll see. I could be completely wrong with that. I seem to recall that's how it works. Yo. Alright. Wasn't completely incorrect. Yeah, this needs a dash. If this gets remastered. Dash, melee. Controls. A little bit better. It's trying to do a lot, right? It's trying to do this 3D thing. Which I respect because, again, inherently, the maps are 3D. Everything's 3D here. Totally get it. Sounds like Metroids. Weapons are cheap, right? Come on. Again, kind of a downside to these visors, right? You cannot see depth nearly as well. There's no color, there's not a lot of shading here. So it's very hard. This depth. this is probably one of the scarier parts of the game. Only because, like, it's, you know there's danger just like Can I scan this stuff yet? Alright, but we got the plasma beam. Yo, what up, Sindolin? How you doing? Got the good plasma beam, man. Right there, Sindolin. Alright. Metroid Prime is pretty choice. It is in its prime, I would say. There's an energy tank, or some sort of tank around here. I think we should figure out where that is. Sindolin, I think you... Wrong game. That's not the right one. It doesn't sound like it's up, it sounds like it's down. Is there like a portion of the wall I'm supposed to... Alright. Psyducks are pretty retro. Psyducks are pretty retro, I suppose. Can I make that jump? I guess I have to make that jump. Wait, what? Man, I suck sometimes. Oh, directions in this game. Alright, now, I don't think I've ever seen a Hunter Metroid, so evidently I've seen a Hunter Metroid. Base attacks. Okay, still the same. Fees on yet. So I'm supposed to I feel like I hear it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know. so I'm just swinging at this point. Whee! Nope. Okay. So definitely up here. I guess I can't jump after I beam. Come on, mushroom. This, and let me just make sure. Yeah, okay, I can scan it. Noise. Yo, noise. Don't like that. Oh man, too much phase on. Good. Is not necessary. It would look like. Oh, it's safe. No, this is very nice. Oh, it's a missile. Missile reload? Huh. You don't see these very often. Mushrooms, see if there's anything on top. Nope. Alright. That makes me scared. Where am I going? Okay, so it's back there somewhere. Circle here. Love it. Love it. Okay. ended up scanning it, well, destroying it. Either way. My background voice? What is there to do? Nothing. Let's do this. Da-da-da-da-da. It's too much. Too much. Poop. Shapoopy. Let's see. Alright, so I should be able to do that. Here. In the machine. I don't think I heard it going out voice. I'm gonna have to look back at the VOD. Alright, so that's going back to a small room, probably either a save room or just a missile somewhere. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. I think we're getting close. Question mark? To that objective here. Then once there's a certain point at which we basically have everything, and we just start ending up, let's go. There's artifacts to greater sight. Oh, that's also nice.
that's a shame. I know it's I mean, to be fair, I'm not really talking about that much, so. Doesn't look good. So much faster. Like, beating missiles. Yeah, actually, like, I totally forgot about this battle. So, honestly, it's honestly just that doesn't surprise me. Ah. Ah! Goodness, these super missiles on those. Otherwise, I'd be boned. Oh, I only have 4. Just need to wait until it does. Everyone else disappears evidently. Shoot, I forgot. Is this how I get? Is there a Phazon series? Oh shoot. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, man. I totally forgot. I forgot how cool that looked. I thought it looked different. I am very much on board with this. And now I can just sit in it. Oh, that's killer. I wish I could do it. Well, I guess I could do this. Oh, man. It's so cool. I totally forgot what that suit looked like. Oh, man. Now I'm just really jazzed about it. Alright. Well, I go back that way. So that means I need to check this. Right, that's how video games work. You know exactly how to proceed. So you choose the option that doesn't point in that direction. Make sure you don't miss anything. I don't think there's anything behind there, though. So it really just is this. Let me get our energy tank. Nice. All right, I am excited. And now it doesn't matter. Hot dog. All right, so at this point, I think we're ready. To investigate the grid. I think that was it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Could really use, So when do I get the screw attack? Maybe... It's actually an open question here. Could really use a missile recharge station. I could use that. Oh! Well, okay. That's not right. I'm not in nearly as much danger in this room anymore with the Phazon suit. How many suits are there in the second one? I know there's the dark suit and the light suit. I thought there might have been another, but I cannot for the life of me remember. He's dead. Kablooey! Here's the question, is it worth doing that whole thing? Just alright. I don't know what opens that up. I don't care. All right, let's get topside. Because at this point, I think we just need to go to the overworld. And I don't know. I actually don't know what the best route is through here. I think I'm gonna have to just pick one and go with it. Freeze it. I don't know why I can't freeze that. It's kind of funny. Alright. There is a plasma door. A little bit back. Is it worth doing? For an energy tank, maybe.
Poop.
Again, the slight problem with this, right? Everything kind of starts to look the same. So there should be There it is. It's supposed to go through you. Hello. How do I get to you? Just that didn't work. How do I do it? Is it? Do I have to go through the grates? Nope, it ain't the grates. I honestly don't know. Shoot. Shoot. I'll figure it out. I don't know. It might be a lookup. I might have to look that up. Especially at this point, I kind of like almost don't want to look anything up. It's almost more just fun, like rediscovering little bits of the game. Yeah, I mean, I thought about doing that, Cinderlin, but I kind of felt like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that might not be the most interesting content. Poop. Get off my face. Get off my face. I'm glad you think so. I don't know if that would be terribly fun, but happy to be proven wrong. Here's the thing. Can they get through that? Can they get into the grating here? I'm gonna hope that's a no. Okay. Not. Sorry, folks. That took a little bit. Whee. Yeah. I know. Oh, wait, I was just here. Blah. Right, alright. Return the Chozo artifacts, which I haven't actually done anything about just yet. Okay. Okay, so let's hope. You know, Devi, the whole I need a hug routine works up until a point, right? Surely they understand they're sucking me away by force. Is there something back here? Is there? No. Okay. So there is that thing right there. So maybe I'll quick do that. There's a plasma beam door back here. Figure out what that is. But yeah, I forget actually how. How do I get access? These bullies. Alright, scan all the things. In hope of trying to figure out how to get that disabled. remember how to do that one. I remember you can do it. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that's what it is. Ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-bum. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Alright. And now... feast. Watch. It's gonna be something dumb. $5 says it's like a power bomb expansion or something like that. Which isn't like dumb, but it's not the flashiest. It's not that hot stuff that I really... Ooh! I lied. I take it all back. It's what, Sunburst? Flamethrower! Cool stuff. I'm not gonna do it right now, though. Very cool stuff. Okay. Nice. Glad I did that. Trying to think. Trying to think if any of those are actually necessary beyond just the super missile. I think we found that the wave, whatever the wave beam one was indeed necessary. I cannot remember where the ice one was. Obviously, because I didn't pick it up yet. I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. This has been super cool. Actually, before we go, so I'm done with Metroid for now, but there's something really cool I want to kind of share on stream. I kickstarted something like almost 2 years ago called Mystery Dice. It's by Gatekeeper Games and Dice, and it's just finally getting to me. And part of that was a bunch of snafus from all sorts of stuff. Manufacturing, the supply chain, all sorts of stuff. But I really wanted to show you some of the cool things that they sent. So the whole campaign was that they would give you mystery dice. You didn't actually know what you were backing or what you were, pledging for. You were pledging for either 7 die sets, 11 die sets, or what they called weird stuff. And I love Agashpan. I can't get enough of random little prizes that I don't know what I'm getting, because I just have I don't let myself gamble for a reason. How about that? And some of these are really kind of unique. So this one is called Agua Fresca, and it's very cool. I actually want to take a second. I'm big. Because I want to show you guys the green screen effect is going crazy. But there are tiny little fruit bits in this. So this one is a little strawberry in the D12. In the D6, this one might be a little bit easier to see. There's a little apple in it. Yeah, my green screen filter is going crazy right now. A little dragon fruit. It's cool stuff. It's cute, kind of cool. What else? What's this one? I did open these. I'm not doing a full-on unboxing with you all. Oh, this one is cool. This one kind of is the most traditional of the ones that I got. It's called the Pure Night. It's purest white with crimson. So this is the D20. It's like a sparkly white. It looks really plain until you like hold it up kind of to the light, and then you get to see like it's almost iridescent sparkles on the white, and then this really nice dark crimson. Some ASMR for us. Yeah, it's fake fruit. It's like little. You almost you remember like in elementary school or middle school when you got like the little like fruit bit erasers? It almost looks like that, but even smaller. So it's pretty small. And they threw in a random die, just kind of in the box. They like to give free stuff away as well. But it's it's more than just dice. It's about an experience. It's all about the surprises. And so they're, encouraging us all to take photos and to post them. But yeah, Gatekeeper Games. I am not sponsored by them. I sponsored them. It's not a subscription box. It was purely a Kickstarter campaign. But I know that they were thinking about doing a version 2.0. They were kind of testing waters with backers before, the shipments had even actually gotten across the Pacific Ocean. They were asking, how interested would you be in a second campaign, yeah. Cinderlin, go for it. I don't care. But yeah, I think they're going to do a second campaign, and I really would recommend backing them, because even with all the snafus and the delays and schedule and everything, like we were supposed to get this like a year ago. I just think it's really cool, and I think they did a fantastic job with this. The next one is called Symphony. And again, it might be a little bit hard to see, especially with, again, the green screen effect. Actually, let me... Because it's cool enough. I'm going to do it. We're going to remove the effect. But so cool. So these actually have little sequin musical notes in them. So they're super shiny, but they also have these little eighth notes, quarter notes in here. And it just is, the entire set is like this. And it's just so fun. I can totally imagine playing a bard and, using this as my main dice. Or at least, for bardic inspiration or something like that. I think that's so cool. And I actually got a separate D8 in the box randomly. I guess they just threw that in separately. This is another really cool set. I did back an 11 die set that is super cool. Unfortunately, no logarithmic stuff, but there is a science thing. There's a science thing coming. There's a science thing coming. This is what I affectionately call the Goldschlager set. They call it the Heart of Gold, but they literally put little bits of gold in the dice, and it's just a resin dice, a resin die. I don't know if that's any easier to see, but there's just little bits of gold in it. The D20 got a little bit more than a little bit of gold. I got a whole bunch of it, but just in the resin process, they dumped some in, and I guess they spun it a little bit to make sure that it was weighed it properly. It was just really cool. So that was the main dice. The yeah, right, Goldschlager. I haven't had Goldschlager in a very long time. The weird stuff. So here comes the weird stuff, and this is as they say on here, it's called the Epic Dice, and it is the first weird stuff idea that they had, and it's ginormous. It is huge, this thing, and it's all super colorful. I absolutely love it. It is 58 millimeters. It is heavy. It is hefty. I'm a little afraid to throw this thing, at least on my table, maybe on the floor. But they claim this is the largest and most well-balanced resin spin down D20 in the world, or the set is. I don't know. I don't know how you claim that. I've definitely seen some this big, but I've never seen them this big, this colorful, and it really does feel pretty evenly weighted. So I absolutely love this. It came in this it came in the gold bag, and I'm just like, well, that's one dice, because it just comes like this, and it's like, okay, that's just one thing, one giant thing. Some other weird stuff that came in. I got a bag of loot. The bag of loot comes with a bunch of D2s. So these little D2s are perfect. I mean, of course you could use a coin, but that's not very flavorful. I definitely got a couple D2s separate from the bag of loot, weird stuff. But one of them that I really like says "Die Another Day" or "Blaze of Glory," and I just there's a campaign that I run with some friends. Or I don't run it. We play Blades in the Dark, and it very much encompasses that kind of feeling of things. But yeah, Gatekeeper Games is the one logo on it, and then GKG on the other side. And then another really cool design is this little moon design. Moon with a D20, and then on the other side it's a sunburst kind of pattern with the D20 in it. I'll clean that up later. And then the last thing, and I'm geeking out about this one. There's only one small thing that kind of I'm a little disappointed by, but this set, this weird stuff set, is called the Solar System Dice. So what they did, I almost want to show it to you. I might do that actually. I might rotate the camera in a second. But they put a solar system together, essentially, with this dice. Let me just arrange a few things here. And the other cool thing about it is they put the Roman symbols for the planets actually on the dice themselves, on the 20 things, on the 20 mark. So, or whatever the greatest one is. So it is I forget how many dice are actually in this. I want to say it's like 14. There's 14 dice, I think, in this. And I'll show you why there's 14 in a second. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand, I suppose. It's so cool, though. It's so cool. All right. You're coming with me. Coming on a journey. So, yeah, it doesn't know which way to be. Ah! All right. Well, regardless of how we show it. All right. Do it this way. So we have the sun as this giant D20, which I really like, and it's a little bit hard to see, but the resin in it is really kind of cool. You have Mercury, you have Venus. Unfortunately, and this is the only disappointment I have with it, they didn't give me an Earth. They didn't give me an Earth. So they gave me 2 Venuses. Then they gave you the Moon, Mars. They really liked the asteroid belt. They always felt cool with that. We got Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and they included Pluto in here, which I absolutely love. And they have it on the D4 there, and the same for Mercury. I think Pluto's a planet still. I have a straight up definition in my head on what planets are, which I know goes against the astronomical community. I'm not in the astronomical community, so I can say whatever the heck I want. But yeah, I just think it's so cool to have this themed type of dice. I don't know. I really, really, really am happy that I backed it. And if they do a second campaign, I'm definitely going to mention it because I think everyone should back it. I think it's super cool. Gatekeeper Dice. Gatekeeper Games and Dice. Cool stuff. No Stargate Earth symbol, unfortunately. I mean, I do love this Venus dice. I think it's super cool, the resin that they used for it. But man, I'd love an Earth. I'd love an Earth. Anywho, cool stuff. I just felt like sharing that with you. I know it's not video gaming stuff, but I don't know. I think it's super cool. Thanks guys for hanging out, and I'll see you Monday. Phasmophobia on Monday, and then I think we might actually just blitz through the rest of Metroid Prime for the next couple weeks. We're near the end. We are in the Artifact Temple area, so we're just gonna backtrack through a bunch of things. I think probably another 2 streams, maybe 3, and good to go. Like I said at the beginning, I do have plans to play the second one, but not right away. I think I want to give it a little bit of time, play some other games in between there, and I do want to play the second one though in a bit with y'all. All right, so take it easy. I do upload this to a YouTube channel eventually. So if you want to give that a follow, that's great. If you want to give this channel a follow, I'd appreciate it. So that way you guys get notifications when I go live and cool stuff like that. Thanks again, and have a great night. I will see you later. Bye.